Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Cam. Let's talk some stocks. So another pretty bloody red day in the market. Not much moved positively. Really only going to talk about one stock in this video. That's SLGG Super League Gaming, as it had a relative strength today compared to the market. We'll look at AMC and Gamestop real quick, as they made some kind of moves in the afternoon, and then we'll look at where I think the market are going the next couple weeks, right? So this is just my opinion, and basing that off what the charts are doing right now and what Powell said today. So we'll jump into it here, and as you guys could, drop a like and subscribe if you're getting something from the videos, and if you'd like to see something else, please let me know what I can do. I appreciate the feedback. So we'll start with Super League Gaming. So they have been moving the last 3 days, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday here. This is a 5-minute chart. So you'll see on Tuesday down at $3.50, and right after the close we pushed up to $9.65, now selling off back into the 830s. But the original news is that they, so back at the end of February, Citron actually talking about GameStop should buy them, moving to esports realm, and it's a lot of money is going there. And then they got a analyst price target up to $6 on the 1st, so that was Monday, and then moved the stock up just on momentum the rest of the week. So if we go out to 3-year chart, I think it went back a little bit farther than that. No, so 3-year chart, so from its inception back here, February 2019, so 2 years ago, high 1155, low 1.3. You'll see today we closed right about that 23.6 fib, and then played around with this 38 fib level on the daily. So just check the hourly here. You see moving right up through it. So yesterday pinged right off that 50 fib, couldn't get through it. Today buyers were there, so insane in volume increase down here on the right. So Tuesday 14 million, yesterday 78, and then today 255 million. So I think it's unlikely to trade 250 million shares again. I think the volume probably drops a little bit tomorrow. People are going to take profit on this, but if the market continues bleeding, this could be something that has continued strength, as the momentum and eyes are obviously here and away from, say, GameStop AMC, even though they did have some moves later in the day today, which we'll look at. But I think 5-minute chart here got the push right off the open. So pre-market, when I had that video out, it said if we can find support down here in this $6.58 range, which it did, and held up, got a push right off the market open, came back, pulled in the 200, and then stayed above that all day. You maybe call this a retest, but still 20 cents. Depends on your risk-reward ratio. What do you like to do for a stop? That could be a play. Enter here, stop on this fib, or stop on that 200, whatever it crosses first. But just like with when Powell talked about 9 a.m. this morning Pacific time, followed the market lower and then showed strength, a lot more strength in the afternoon, as other markets, the indexes did bounce a little bit off their levels, and we'll look at those here in a second. But we'll go to GameStop first, as it was the actual mover compared to AMC. But right about 11:25 and 11:30, you just got this huge spike entering off, a huge change in volume. So kind of averaging in here 50-60K volume, then 1 million shares volume in a 5-minute time period to 2 million. So that's a huge, 20 times increased volume since the price from 122 up to 148. Tried to sit around this 140 level for a while, pulled back into 130, kind of consolidated at that 130 level, and that 130 level was a level we've been poking at here last week and this week. So we got to 142 here, Monday 134, Tuesday 133, yesterday only got to 127. So we are curling back up right now. So this could be your cup, your VCP, volumes reducing, and now we're picking back up. So I mean, we got above this 142.9. So I think tomorrow to end the week, if we get a little squeeze going, if we get above this 140, we could look to retest this 184.68 that we opened at last week. We can check out here on the hourly. All right, so we spiked up back there on Thursday, and you'll see there's really this little bit of volume was, oh, I'm only on the other one, so let's go here so you can actually see the volume of it relative to the move here. So we're just down here in this range. So if we can get up above this 140 level, right, very thin on volume up in here, so we could see a quick move tomorrow if this thing does start squeezing. And it's just look at here on the hourly, right, done pretty well respecting this 50 EMA here, hugged it all day today and then broke out off of it. And so we'll look to see if the volume port comes in pre-market on Friday. Hasn't been there all week, but things could be changing, especially market tanking. People could be feeling a little riskier, trying to put their money into stocks that could provide a quick return. Go to AMC. So AMC followed a move, right, 11 o'clock hour, but just couldn't get the strength to go higher. This is down 6.4 today. It did get below 10% today, so it will be on SSR tomorrow. So we go out to the daily. We'll look at the level I mentioned in the pre-market video. Needs to hold the 734 or 734. It's now 735 today, but basically pretty close to that level. Got down to 7.5. So we'll look to see if this 22 EMA on the daily holds going into tomorrow. A little bit increase in volume today, 76 million compared to 55. So I think the volume could pick up tomorrow, just like Gamestop. But here on the daily chart, you do have the cup, but now the handle here is kind of, becoming like an inverted, rounded top. So it will look to need to find some support. So if the 734, 35 area fails, we could be dropping back down here into the sixes. So I'd like to see if the buyers come in tomorrow on Friday, try to get this thing to squeeze. And so those are really the only individual stocks to talk about today. Maybe a quick one, we'll just talk about volatility. So volatility obviously spiked today when Powell talked. Let's just go to the 5-minute. There's no volume on this. Oops. All right, so Powell talked. We're down here at 25. Rose up all the way to 31.5. So we broke out of this high from last Thursday on the move. You zoom out right here. We've been, volume has been VIX has been downtrending since March. Lower highs basically every time except for this section right here at the beginning of September. But it spikes, comes back down quickly. So we'll see if it follows that pattern here. And obviously the inverse ETFs are about the only thing green today. If you look over here on the left, so SQQ inverse of Nasdaq. UVXY is the 3-time bearish ETF for S&P 500. But we'll look at, we'll go SPY to start. So a lot of lines on here, not necessarily need to worry about it. But here's the daily chart. So opened here, 381, pushed up to 384, touched at 9 EMA, which wasn't there at the time, right? So as it moved down farther, this 9 lowered. But so after the news, sold off pretty low, hit a low of 371.88. But then buyers came in pretty strong. We'll see that here on the hourly chart. So right here, right, so closes at the low. Buyers came in right at the 11 o'clock hour and sent this thing back up. Right, so went right back through the 23.6 fib level. And then we tried to, sellers try to come back in, push it back below that 23.6 fib, but buyers stepped up. A ton of volume right here into the close, pushes up higher. So I think we're going to be in this range where this 9 EMA yesterday, right? We tried to break it once, twice, couldn't do it to get up higher. I think that 9 EMA is going to be the first level of overhead resistance going into tomorrow. So if we can get a push, we need to be able to break that. But we'll go back to the daily. Obviously, like the round, this is just a big rounded top. You call this like an inverse cup right here, right? So your cup's forming. Or you could have originally called, say, this the first part of the cup. The handle's right here coming back down now. So if we do get some more selling to occur, obviously we're going to go try to retest these lows from January, February 1st time frame, which I do think this, just the setup of this chart is pretty bearish, so I think we could get some selling going on. And that also kind of relies on the fact of what Powell actually spoke about today in his Wall Street Journal interview. You know, he did the interview to try to ease investor fears, but just while he was talking, the bond rates spiked, went above 1.5, or I think that was actually Treasury yields, excuse me. But bond rates are going to go up. He's talking about inflation, that it's not here, but I think a lot of people are not necessarily saying that he's lying, but don't necessarily believe him that he's telling the whole truth about the scenario, right? So if you weren't aware, the Fed has printed 40% of every dollar that's ever existed in the last year, and we're about to put or print more money from the 1.9 stimulus bill, the 1.9 trillion stimulus bill, and then 2 trillion plus infrastructure bill. So that more money is just going to be printed out of thin air, and you can't say, you know, asset prices aren't increasing, inflation is not here, but Powell's trying to make the case that it's not going to be here for a year or two, when they don't have. So it'll be at least a year or two until they increase interest rates. But I think a lot of the market is seen as we're going to get those interest rate hikes sooner than Powell's leading on, and that's kind of like the fear right now. But Powell's case for that is, unemployment is not at the point where we want it to be. So you can't raise interest rates, because if you raise interest rates, that incentivizes people to save. So if people save, you have less jobs. So you want the interest rate low, so people are forced to work. So it's a huge balancing act going on, type deal. But it appears to be that the market doesn't believe Powell and thinks that rates are going to raise sooner. And then you have the bond issues. So I think potentially March as a whole could probably be a red month. So we can just look at that too right now, right? So we only have 3 days from March, but we already have a big range in 4 trading days from March. So from 390 down to 371, and if we actually go to Nasdaq, so the QQQ, it's actually in a correction phase now, because the Nasdaq is technically 10% below its all-time high. So 338 closed today at 304, right? So that's a 34-point difference. That's less than, so right above 10%. So in the correction zones for the Nasdaq, and as you can see, we broke below last month's low, January's low. So we'll see if we'll take out 298, go through December's low. But you can see here there is a volume, a volume spike, I guess you'd say it here on the histogram, right at this 300 level. So we'll see if that will get taken out tomorrow or the upcoming weeks, because I think more selling is in store for the markets. But that's just my opinion. Form your own opinion. Consult a financial expert if you are going to buy any securities or whatever you plan on doing to hedge yourself, protect yourself, or make money in the long-term run. So that's all I got for you guys in this video. Like I said in the beginning, if you like and subscribe, that'd be great. If you got anything for me, please let me know in the comments. I'll get back to you. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.